Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is a Team to Wednesday meeting because I couldn't get it done in time for Tuesday. We had other stuff going on. But there's a lot of important information to go over this week, so pay careful attention. Midterm is this Friday. We did move that back, and so actually the second half of the term is pretty short. So we've got a lot of making up to squeeze in if you are over on attendance or not passing a class or have to finish a VLC class that isn't quite where it should be. So make sure your grades are good. We will send out reports with the cutoff on Friday. And after school tutoring starts next week. Those will be held on Tuesday and Thursday until 4:30, and they are mandatory if you are not passing a class or are over on attendance. Plan on being there if you want to keep your seat at JSC and you fit into either of those categories. Some of you, frankly, are risking your spot here, and I don't understand how you could be at your 4 days before midterm here, and I don't know, what it tells me is you don't value the seat very much if you've done that. And so, do what you need to do now, and you should feel some urgency and panic because, well, you could lose your seat. Don't do that. VLC progress must continue. It looks like most people are in pretty good shape. There are a few who are not, more than a few. But even those aren't abysmal. Really, I'm proud of most of you and the progress you're making. Keep doing that. I think right now you really ought to be somewhere at about 60% in your Term 3 courses. So soldier on. Bright Futures Drive. We as a school, our selected item is oatmeal packets, like the instant oatmeal packets. If you can contribute any of those, and they need to be in their package and stuff, obviously, between now and February the 16th, please do. No obligation. But this is for Bright Futures, who does lots of great things for our district and our school in particular to make sure people have their basic needs met. So do your civic duty and make some contributions if you can. We have a CFI trip this afternoon at 12:45, so almost directly following this meeting. We will be calling those who expressed interest for that, and it must happen. That's just copied from a previous slide. It will happen. I don't know if it must. Good news, we got approved for a trip to Crystal Bridges on April the 6th, so we will be going to the Art Museum in Bentonville and having a nice day of culture and aesthetics and things. We actually got a special tour centered around architecture in the home, so that'll be cool. And then we'll also kind of split up with teams, and we can, have some independence and check out different parts of the art museum. It's a very cool trip. Excited about that. Reading Rocks is this Friday, and it's going to be great. Our last practice is tomorrow. It is very important that tomorrow's practice be like a dress rehearsal without the dress. Please take that seriously and perform as though you would when the kids are there. That may not feel like, the most natural thing at the time, but we don't want your first authentic performance to be on Friday. This is like a play. Frankly, I think Mr. Oni was a little disappointed in some of the readers in our first round, only because he knows your great potential. And this is like a very cool thing for kids. And kids like animated reading, it feels silly, but that's how you get them engaged and stuff. So, lean into your roles. I know not every practice needs to be just like the real thing, but try to make tomorrow's like the real thing, okay? And then our performance is Friday. If you are interested in going to college at all in the next academic year, meaning 23-24, starting in the fall, extending into the spring, surprise, there's a form to fill out. Basically, I want to know our subset of students who are interested. I don't want to, overload everyone with too much information and feel like, whatever. But for people who are interested in going to college, I want to make sure that you get all the resources that you need to fill out financial aid stuff, to go on visits, to, whatever it may be. So if you are a senior or someone who's going to graduate this year or early next year. Maybe you graduate next fall, maybe you graduate next December, and you'd like to start college in January for second semester. Fill out that form, let me know that you're interested. If not, no pressure, no shame either. But let me know if you are. Okay, this is a special addendum to the Team Wednesday, put together by Miss Bayless. Miss Bayless, thank you for doing this. The thing about learning is it's a process. Sometimes young people get a bad rap for not having enough grit and resilience to try something once, and if it doesn't work out, you just quit. Nothing works out the first time. You have to start something to figure out what changes you need to make, and that's how you learn. So anyhow, on our first recycling trip, basically we discovered that things are a little more complicated than we thought. So this is a clarification, and I think we have a good fix here. So over icecation, Ms. Bayless did some research and figured out some things for us. So first of all, aluminum and tin are not the same. They're different metals, right? And so they have to be separated. We can't just put all metals in a bin. We need to have a dedicated aluminum bin, and then we need to have a dedicated tin can bin. Aluminum cans need to be rinsed out. So like if you are drinking a soda and you're going to put the can in the thing, run over to the sink, rinse it out. It does not need to be like dishes you're going to eat off of, but we don't want a bunch of syrup in there. Don't smash your cans, just drop them in there. They have a compactor. They like to do the smashing. And the all aluminum. Aluminum is actually probably the most recyclable metal there is. It very easily melts back into sort of a usable form. And so I would say this is our highest priority item as far as having an impact. People say it is a tragedy every time a piece of metal just passes through our system and doesn't get reused, aluminum in particular. The tin cans look like this. They're not the light, malleable stuff. They're more rigid, heavier. They must be clean and their label removed. You can put the lid inside of it. That's really what you ought to do so nobody gets cut. There's an example right here. Styrofoam. Only number 6 styrofoam, no food container, so we can't use our messy lunch stuff. If you know about styrofoam, this is not something we're going to encounter every day, but we might if we order things or like whatever. Plastics are where things get complicated, and there are numbers, there are colors, there are lids, there are containers. Here's what we're going to do to simplify our process. The only plastic we're really going to mess with, and our most common one, is water bottles. If you have a plastic water bottle, we're going to have a bin for that, and then a little container for lids. And I think other stuff, if you got a bunch of plastic, let's talk to a teacher and maybe we'll deal with it then. I don't really want to go through a flow chart of numbers 1 through 7, colors, clear, etc. We are going to do cans and water bottles as our highest priorities. There are 2 types of cans, 1 type of water bottle, 2 containers, container lid. And then also, of course, we're skipping over this. See, I told you it was complicated. Really complicated. See? Paper and cardboard we also have. So really we've got metals, paper, cardboard, glass, plastics we're simplifying. Bottles really is what we're going to mess with, water bottles. I think I've said that 5 times now. Anyway, that is it for today's Team Tuesday meeting. Make sure you fill out the form if you are interested in college next year, and mind your P's and Q's around midterm, and plan on transportation Tuesday, Thursday of next week, and for the rest of the semester if that you fit the bill. Anytime your grade comes above passing, then you are released from the clutches of after-school detention, or if you make up your attendance in a 1-to-1 fashion. 1 AST is 1/4 of a day. It's 1 block. And so you'll have to do 4 of those to make up 1 day. Some of you are going to be in AST for the rest of the term if you want to remain on a roster. Sorry to be so threatening. It's my job. Have a great Wednesday.